Hey everybody, this is Scott with Mud Bug Adventures, and this video is just going to kind of go over some of the things that we've done to the Jeep since we got it, things that had to be done in order to make it just so we could go drive it really safely, even before we get it off-road. So we're just going to go over some of the highlights of the things that we've done, and then we've got a couple more things that we're going to do as well. We had some problems. We were going to go get it aligned that caused us to have to get a new tie rod, and we haven't got it yet, but I'm going to show you what we're going to do with that. All right, so starting, we put a whole new lift on it. We did have a video on this. We put a new stabilizer, a removable stabilizer arms on there, put a 3-inch lift on the front, coil spring, full coil spring, Bilstein shocks. So that kind of took care of our lift. It leveled the Jeep out a lot more than it was. It kind of had a nosedive to it, and I wanted to get rid of that. The other thing is we got our decals on, so now we've got the Mud Bug decal. And for anybody that wants to visit our site, we've got Mud Bug Adventures at mudbugadventures.com. So coming to the back, we put a Bilstein shocks in the back as well, and a 2.5-inch full coil spring suspension lift. In the front of it, some of the lights weren't working, so I did get all those fixed. So all the lights except for, there were some little running lights here. This side, the circuit board actually went bad where it was unreparable. So I just removed them. We still got the switches. If we decide to add some there, we can. But with the other lights, it's quite bright as it is. But we did get all those working. We found out that there was a LED lights under the fender wells up here. Been having some problems with them. They weren't working at all when we got it, but we were able to sync up the app, and Margaret's able to control it with her phone. But it seems like when we get around other Jeeps that might have the same system, ours doesn't work. It wants to sync up with, her phone wants to sync up with other Jeeps. So that's something that I'm really not too worried about, but it is in the Jeep. All right, coming under the Jeep, we put a TerraFlex Falcon steering stabilizer on there. Oh, and just so you know, that is TerraFlex for the lift that we've put on here, the components. We replaced the differential oil. I have a video on it. I haven't put it up yet. I can do that. So we did differential oil on the front and back, replaced that, drained and replaced. And then we had a problem here is we put a new track bar on there. Real nice heavy one, because once we did the lift, obviously the body was off center from the Jeep or from the frame, so we'd put that on. Of course, in order to do that, we removed the drag link, and then we aligned the body to the axle, and then we readjusted the drag link. That way our steering would still be straight ahead instead of offset. The only problem was we took it in to get a alignment on it after it's done. As you can see, it's kind of butchered up here. This is seized on there. There was no way to get it off. The alignment, took it to Firestone. They couldn't get it off. They tried some penetrating oil. It did not work. It was just not something they could break loose. So we decided we go ahead and we just ordered a complete new tie rod, TerraFlex tie rod assembly. That should be coming in here next week, and we'll get that on and resolve that issue and get it in so we can have it aligned. And coming under the Jeep, we did drain the transmission, the gearbox, flush and refill, and we did a flush and refill on the transfer case as well. We also Margaret found some stuff because we had a lot of I don't know, some white stuff just covering the whole canopy. The windows were real washed out looking. She got some cleaner and put it on there. It really made it nice. So it cleaned the Jeep up quite a bit. We got some yellow wax. Went through, we started putting the wax on. We realized it probably had never been waxed before. It was real hard to rub it. So we did do some waxing on it. It's still kind of rough. If you look at it real close, you can still see some issues with the paint. It is used. Pretty good shape though for, you know, a used Jeep. But we did get it waxed real good. Try to protect it. Then we didn't do a video on it, but when we were putting the lift on it, when I was trying to get this driver's side tire off, somebody had cross-threaded one of the lug nuts. It wouldn't come off. so I ended up having to break it to get it off. You can see the different lug nut on there. So we replaced the lug itself, and I just found that on our spare tire. We've ordered a whole new set of lug nuts now that we can put on there to match the whole Jeep now that we repaired the lug. I didn't want to drive it with the weight of 33-inch tires on just 4 lugs. I don't think that's a wise thing to do, so that did get replaced. All right, coming under the hood, we did an oil change filter. We also changed all the spark plugs and the wires. We had one of the boots come off when we were just going to check the spark plugs. They were seized onto the plugs themselves, so at that point it was just a no-brainer to go ahead and do it. We did a little bit of cleanup on some of the wiring up here. It was horrible. I mean, it was just this big blob of wires everywhere. They're probably too long. It could be cut down, but at this point I'm not really worried about that part of it. The radiator, this was really interesting. The radiator was almost empty, so we went ahead and flushed and refilled the radiator with coolant. Seems to run a little bit cooler now as well.
Alright guys, so that gives you an overview of what we've done with the Jeep so far. We are new to Jeeping, so if you experienced Jeepers, have anything that we've missed or you think would be a good add-on to the Jeep, or a maintenance point that we've missed, let us know down in the comments section. We'd love to hear your advice. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please give us a thumbs up, be sure to hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to visit mudbugadventures.com.